Hi, this is Carl, and this is the second part of the discussion on the Spanish language PowerPoints, which I mentioned in part 1. What I will do here is just to summarise and give a brief overview of the first of the two series of PowerPoint presentations, and then in part 3 discuss the latest release of PowerPoint presentations from 2008. So as I mentioned in part 1, what I was going to do here was just to give a brief summary once more of the advantages of the PowerPoint presentations, which have sold to date over 2,500 copies on eBay and also Amazon, although not as many copies on Amazon, and from which many of my own students have derived a great deal of benefit. So what I have here in front of me is a written explanation which went onto eBay and also onto Amazon when these products were being sold. So here we go, and I'll just read this and keep looking up at the camera every so often. So the first series of 22 PowerPoint presentations produced between the 17th of February and the 3rd of September 2006. The write-up reads as follows. This product comprises a series of 22 rigorously structured PowerPoint presentations on the absolute must-know aspects of the Spanish language. This item was first released for sale in the autumn of 2006. Each of the presentation requires the installation of the Microsoft PowerPoint application on the learner's computer, and the course aims to introduce the basics of Spanish to those who are new to the language or who wish to refresh their knowledge of the same. The order in which the shows must be completed is given below and follows a very precise structure to allow the learner to easily acquire, absorb and recall to memory those words and phrases which feature amongst the most common in the Spanish language. There is no time limit in which this course should be completed by the learner. However, it is highly recommended that you adhere to the order given below. And what I will do is give the individual presentation titles here on the YouTube commentary box. In most cases, each presentation begins with a very clear-cut and easy to follow explanation of the aspect of language under discussion. There will then follow a series of different types of self-assessment exercises, such as filling in the missing words, decisions as to whether statements are true or false, the selection of a correct translation from multiple choice options, an identification of deliberately made errors within sentences, the placing of groups of words in the right order to produce sentences which read accurately, and full translations of examples of language from and into both English and Spanish. Each question and its corresponding answer is brought up by 2 separate clicks of the left-hand button of the mouse, and it is important to know that these shows are interactive and should not be printed out on paper, as this would defeat the object of their methodology. Explanations and questions are given in black, whilst the answers are given in a range of different colours to add to the visual appeal of the series. The shows also feature a number of clip arts to enable word and picture association, as well as other types of visual imagery, most notably colour coding and underlining, to draw the learner's attention to particular aspects of the language. Also, there are several revision slides which allow the student to revisit previously considered topics, but even so, many of the sentences which feature in presentations later on in this initial series are chosen carefully to regularly feature examples of words and phrases which have gone before. The series avoids references to complex grammatical terms and ensures that the examples of language chosen sound realistic and are not too wooden in content or wording. In October 2008, a second series of Spanish PowerPoints was released as a follow-on to this initial set. It is slightly more richer and in content and language, featuring a total of 28 shows, bringing the total to 50, and is available for purchase from now. So that's the write-up for the first series of PowerPoint presentations, and what I will do in part 3 is to give a similar but different explanation of how that second and latest series has been put together.